Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Capricorn, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one is the Chalks of King Congo for your Oracle overall energy. This is a brand new deck that was gifted to me. And another deck that was gifted to me, the beautiful Nefertiti's Tarot. At the end, I will read from the book. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Angels, spirits, guides, what messages do you... One moment. This card... These cards are round, and so it just hit the table and it just spun off the table and just hit my bed. That was amazing and kind of hilarious. The card is Ascension. I think you're the first sign to get this card. It's interesting too, because this spiral or spooling energy, it's kind of like when something rolls off the table and then it kind of spirals, like if you drop a roll of toilet paper or paper towels or a spool of thread or something, and it's almost like this unraveling that I feel, that you pull on this thread and so much becomes laid out and laid bare for you to see. Ascension suggests spiritual ascension, which talks about the veil being lifted from your eyes, your spiritual eyes. It's kind of being able to see the world in a way that you never could before, and knowing that you can never backtrack. It's like, the Matrix. When Neo kind of enters into the real world, he cannot go back into the Matrix. I mean, he could go back into the Matrix, but why would he want to, right? Which is what Morpheus told him. If you could go back, would you really want to? It's this sense that you've experienced some kind of enlightenment about the world, about your life, about how you operate within it, how thoughts become things, manifestations become realities, how your healing promotes your growth. That's what this card is all about. But I see it as that unspooling. There's a similar shape in the deck that another sign got. And it wasn't this card, but it reminded me of, there's a little spring like this, that if you were to open up a watch, obviously not a digital watch, just a regular watch, there's this part, there's mechanical part inside the watch that looks like this. And I don't know how, I mean, perhaps it controls the cogs, but then it makes me think of this sense of your watch and the time and looking at the time, and then simply saying, it's your time. This period of ascension is now. It's all happening now. Ascension is not easy. It can be really painful, the realizations that you have about yourself. It's very personal, can be painful, can be testing, trying. Tremendously worth it though, if you lean into it. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the face spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future. And at the end, a card of advice from Spirit. Wow. 3 cards down on the table, all 3 major arcana. Major arcana, the first 22 cards of the tarot deck, representing heavily spiritual energies, divinely guided, divinely influenced, the archetypes of human experience. Your cards have a kind of floatiness to them. Like this card right here, which I'll show you when it's time, it kind of just floated across the table. There's a little bit of wind beneath the wings here with you, Capricorn. And the past energy, indeed, asking these deep questions with number 5, the Hierophant. It says Il Papa at the bottom. El Papa, Le Pape, Der Hierophant. All different languages. The Pope of the Tarot. The spiritual or religious figure that is looked to for guidance, spiritual guidance, wisdom, standards. The Hierophant can represent standards, rules and regulations and parameters that we should fit into, and mottos to live by. Thank you, Spirit. Motto to live by? Are you looking for, or have you been questioning the narrative or motto you've been living by? So I'll give you an example of one of those kinds of things. I'm a Cancer, so Cancers are notorious for a lot of things. Being moody, being stubborn, being emotional, etc., etc. For me, all of those things are true. I embrace it. But I used to tell people, I used to embrace it a little too much, and I used to want to push people away. And so I would say, oh, I came out of the womb grumpy. I'm always grumpy. And a lot of times I am grumpy, but I don't say that to people anymore. I used to tell people that I was grumpy. Maybe so that they would leave me alone. Maybe because, I don't know why I would tell people that. But it was a narrative that I had to look in the face. Because no one was making me say that. I was saying that. And I didn't want to say that anymore. I don't want to be grumpy. I want to be happy. I want to be positive for others and myself. I want to be a light. So I had to change that narrative, right? So, but that was my motto. That was something I would tell myself. That was something that was almost like this badge of honor that I was carrying around. And it wasn't like a badge. It was more like a sandbag on my shoulders, just weighing me down, right? So there could be something in your recent past where maybe you've been meditating, you've been praying, but you've most importantly been questioning something. Questioning the status quo, looking for answers outside of yourself. Clarifying it, the Knave of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles, very student energy, youthful energy, beginner's mind. Earth sign, Pentacles is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, so it's your element. The earth signs are the earth element in the pentacles is primarily concerned with earth realm things. Pentacles can represent finances or opportunities or family dynamics, job dynamics, the everyday decisions, the everyday effects. When we look at the Page of Pentacles, this is a character, this is an energy that is curious about the world, that wants to learn, that wants to kind of put their foot forward, put their hat in the ring, try something new, take advantage of something, but in the best way possible. Like take advantage of an opportunity to go to an event, join a lecture, experience something. You got this card in reverse in the past energy to clarify the Hierophant. So it's almost like saying, like, there's a hesitation, you know, because we get set in our ways. Sometimes it's hard for us to try something new. I see this tentativeness. I see this hesitation on your part to, you know, it's almost like asking the Hierophant for their advice and then being like, oh, but surely that doesn't apply to me. Oh, but surely I don't have to do what you're suggesting, right? I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm sorry I asked. There's a little bit of that happening in the past energy. That's part of the Ascension too, right? Coming face to face with traumas, triggers, fears, and just being like, yeah, but I don't really have to look at that, right? I don't really have to heal from that. Like we've gone through that. I don't have to rehash it. I'm healed from that, right? It's kind of that energy. A little facetious, Capricorn, a little facetious. Not belligerent, but facetious. A little playful, a little avoidant. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, to clarify. Eight of Pentacles, where do we invest the majority of our time, effort, energy, and resources? With the card in reverse, not wanting to invest. Not wanting to invest. This is double not wanting to invest. Thank you, Spirit. No. Well, surely I don't have to do this. Surely all of these things I have to do to go through spiritual awakening, surely I'm excluded. I have a doctor's note to exclude me from that difficult passage. Those difficult, I don't know, I'm smiling because I'm thinking of a couple Capricorns that I know, and like, their argument would be like, well, obviously I have a better and more efficient way to do it. I don't have to go through all of that. I can just streamline my processes, or I can outsource it. I can outsource my spiritual awakening. Can we just get to the good stuff? There are a couple of Capricorns I know that are like that. Not all. I'm just thinking of the ones that I know. No, Spirit wants me to pull another card. Spirit wants me to pull another card from another deck. So I'm going to use the Rider-Waite-Smith deck just to get a clarifier. Knight of Wands in the upright, Three of Cups in the reverse. So Three of Cups is like a celebration card. Knight of Wands is a card of spontaneity and flying by the seat of our pants. And Spirit's just kind of saying, you know, if you try to fast track this kind of spiritual ascension, you're not going to come to a place that you like, where we're drinking and we're celebrating and we're clinking glasses and dancing. You cannot skip to the end on this one. This is said with a lot of love, Capricorn. You cannot skip to the end. You can try. It's almost though, gotta be careful, because the more you try to bypass the tough part, the more the tough part will continue to linger. In the present energy, Spirit saying, well, but it's your choice. The Judgment card in the reverse. Number 20 of the Major Arcana, Judgment card talks about, sometimes it can talk about resurrecting something from the past, from the dead, answering the call of Spirit. Shall we answer the call? It's up to you. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But if you don't, you could be missing out on your fortune, your good fortune. 10 of Pentacles. This is top dog in your suit of the earth signs, right? In the earth element. The 10 of Pentacles is everything. Abundance in all of its forms. Finances, family, friends, connections, opportunity, everything. So you can make decisions in whatever way you want, but okay, Spirit, I got you, Spirit. They're highly encouraging you to pay attention to your spiritual path. Now, I assume if you're watching a tarot reading, you're somewhat spiritual, but spiritual path doesn't have to be like, I gotta go join a convent and like devote my entire existence to organized religion. That can be for some. Another kind of true spiritual path could be like, you know, I'm gonna move to the Pacific Northwest like I always said I would, and I'm gonna find work out there, and I'm just gonna be with the trees and with nature and with people that are like-minded and whatever, right? That's just an example. That's a very specific example. Having a spiritual life oftentimes can just mean connecting to your spirit. And when you connect to your spirit fully and authentically, people find you. So other spiritual people find you. Other people looking for spirit find you. Because you're living so authentically. You can't help but radiate light. You can't help but attract abundance. Because you believe you deserve it. Because you're in a state of gratitude and joy. Can I get a clarifier? This is the present energy. This is like this reckoning that you're at right now. Am I straying too far from my path? King of Cups in reverse. Scorpio energy. King of Cups, this card in reverse is kind of the King of Cups in his debilitated state. It's like not being in touch with our feelings. King of Cups in the upright, very in touch with his feelings, his emotions, with other people's feelings and emotions. And in the reverse, it's like we're disconnected from what it is that we feel, right? Maybe perhaps because the ascension is difficult. Because every time we try to feel something, it hurts. That can be temporary though. Yes, it's going to hurt temporarily. But it's almost like the payoff is so worth it. And easy for me to say because I feel we're all we can experience many spiritual ascensions in our lifetime. But like having gone through it, and I feel like I can say like it's so worth it on the other side. You learn so much about yourself and your resiliency and your self-worth. It doesn't mean that you don't struggle with these things every day, but how you struggle is different. It's being able to admit things to yourself, ask for help, take time out, draw boundaries, all these good things. In the future potential, see, it's like when you lean into it, future potential could lead to the Fool energy, which is absolutely fantastic. It's diving off the deep end, having faith in our ability to swim, having faith in spirit to catch us. This taking risks, taking calculated risks. That's what the Fool energy is all about. The whole tarot is about the Fool's journey. How do we, as adults, with everything that we know, begin again? Right? Because we don't start from nothing. We start again with a whole gamut of life experience under our belt. We could do anything. And we should. And I see you taking advantage of this momentum, which is amazing, in the future potential. You're going to question yourself, though, Seven of Pentacles. Is it worth it? Should I invest? What do I invest in? How do I invest? For how long? You're going to ask yourself. You're still Capricorn. You're still going to ask yourself those questions. Can I get a clarifier? Two of Cups in reverse. The way that you will know if you should invest in something is to connect to your higher self. My crown is a little buzzy. Two of Cups can talk about divine partnership, divine union, but for me it often talks about the connection between ourselves and our higher aspect. The you in the 3D and your soul, essentially. When we're disconnected from our soul, that's when we question ourselves, because we're disconnected from our intuition. We don't trust ourselves. So Spirit's advice to you here is reconnect. This is all about this process here. Unspooling everything that's been wound up so tight. Looking at it for what it is. Laying it all out on the table. Expressions like that. Following your intuition, your hunches, your gut feelings. I'm going to read from the book for Ascension. The body decays, but the spirit lives forever. We truly are spiritual beings having a human experience. Regardless of the earthly purpose or duty we are assigned, ultimately the goal is to spiritually move upward, towards, and closer to our infinite wholeness. How we choose to handle ourselves and others affects if and how we evolve. No worries though, you'll have a few reincarnations to take a shot at it. Be easy with yourself. We are here for a short time, but a good time. Do not allow yourself to be so consumed with the idea of spiritual awakening that you are unable to enjoy life. Embodying your humanness is affixed to ascension. If spirit is the gift, then life and living are Christmas. Level up. Your ascension will require you to unravel, unlearn, and shed. Low vibrating thoughts, habits, and spaces cannot ascend with you to your new heights. There are no ceilings to this. The more you learn, the more there is to know. No matter how big or how small they may be, celebrate all of your growths. Needing to mature in one area doesn't negate your maturity in another. That's your reading, Capricorn. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Capricorn.